It's not necessarily a fun shoe like some other recent plated trail shoes. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video we're reviewing the beautiful, let's say it, Nike Zoomx Zegama Trail. Let's call it the Nike Zegama throughout the video. This is Nike's brand new trail running shoe, trail racing shoe. Let's figure it out. This shoe wasn't sent to me, I purchased it on Nike.com. You can find it at Top for Running with code META, M-E-T-A, because this is Meta Endurance, and you can follow us on Instagram at Meta Endurance. Go on the website metaendurance.com on the Shoe Super Tool. You can also purchase this shoe at Running Warehouse once it releases, and we'll put also a link in the description to Nike.com if that's where you want to get your Nike shoes. That's out of the way. Let's go through the specs and stats. We're looking at 333 grams for this shoe, which is for a trail shoe in the normal ballpark, if there's something like normal, average ballpark if you prefer. It's not light by any means, but it's okay. You can feel you have some structure on your feet. It's actually quite nice, and I think it deserves that weight, so no issue there. Geometry score, we're looking at that Zoomx foam. It's not the same Zoomx as on the Vaporfly Alphafly. It's a different type of Zoomx. Here we're looking at 35.3 on the durometer scale. This is a bit more than the traditional Zoomx. Traditional Zoomx is around 30, 31, but you can see that on the Shoe Super Tool on our website metaendurance.com. So here it's a bit firmer, and you can definitely feel, it's not firmness, but you can feel the lack of bounce, the lack of energy return. Very compliant, very reassuring type of Zoomx, but it's not that bouncy, crazy, springy Zoomx that you know on your road racing shoes. I think here the main advantage, and what maybe Nike was seeking with that Zoomx, is leg protection, because yes, you have 37 millimeters of stack height in the heel, 33 in the forefoot, 4 millimeters drop, quite an aggressive drop, but racing oriented, so that makes also some sense. I think Nike with that Zoomx was seeking some leg protection, some leg saving, especially on those longer distances on the trails. We'll come back to that, but I think this is what this shoe is geared towards. The upper, I was a bit surprised because the upper is really unstructured here in the forefoot, really, loose and has some give to it, which is interesting, but and gives you some nice room here for your toes to spray out, for your descents, for your feet to be a bit free, and for your ascents to have some nice grip in the shoe. So that's fine. I'm however a bit struggling with the idea of a trail shoe being that loose in the forefoot. I would have liked something a little more snug. So yeah, that's just my grip with the forefoot. Tongue is actually very nice, just the right amount of padding, no issue here. Laces are okay, quite stylish, but as laces, they're just laces and they're working fine. The tongue here is, let me remind, yeah, it's a fully gusseted tongue. Interesting. I would have said it's a semi-gusseted tongue, but it's a fully gusseted tongue. I didn't feel it, to be honest, because here it's kind of surprised. I put my hand yesterday in the shoe and I felt it, but when running in it yesterday and today, I didn't feel that fully gusseted tongue, especially because of that unstructured upper in the forefoot, which doesn't really look like something super gusseted. The heel is actually quite stout here at the base, and you have that collar, which is a bit stretchy. The heel is an issue for me. I had some heel movement. It's a true to size fit, no issue there. I wouldn't go half down, but the heel pocket is designed in a way that you really have some wiggle room around your heel and some movement for me. I'm not sure this is a good thing, to be honest, on some technical trails, even on some flat, just gravel terrain. I would like to have something a little more secure here in the heel. It's a secure fit, but it's not a secure feel, if that makes sense. So my heel was sitting nicely in that pocket, but when running, when pushing a bit the paces, I had some movement here. So the upper isn't the number one success. It's a very nice colorway here, no issue here, like Oregon Ducks for the World Champs, I can imagine. But but it's not the best trail upper I've tried, especially when comparing, and I know this is not a comparison video, but with Hoka Tecton X, even the Endorphin Edge that I can see right here, waiting for its review, and that has also a nice upper. So here I think there's maybe something to do with the upper to make that shoe a bit more secure, a bit more trail racing oriented or technical trail racing oriented. Midsole, I was very disappointed with the Zoomx on the Zoom Fly 5, and here it's that same flavor of Zoomx. There's no decoupling here on that shoe. You don't really need it, to be honest. It's aggressive. It's not as disappointing as the Zoomx on the Nike Zoom Fly 5, but it's definitely not what you would expect from Zoomx if you're coming from a broad background like I am, Vaporfly, Alphafly. It's a very dense, very compliant, reassuring, and you know, capable type of Zoomx. Leg saving for sure, but it's not that bouncy, energy return niche, squishy Zoomx. You don't necessarily need it on the trails, but just so you know, so you're aware, it's not that that Zoomx flavor as the same Zoomx flavor as on the roads. The drop is quite aggressive, and you are really pushed to move through the gears and to increase your pace. You know, I think this is good for a racing shoe, but I'm not sure this is a racing shoe, if you see what I mean. Outsole, you have some 4mm logs. I didn't do any technical trails, to be honest. I'm gonna take this shoe to the mountains later this summer in August, and we'll try it there. But here in Brussels, this outsole just works perfectly fine. It's grippy, it's not slippery like some Peck Trail 3, for instance, outsole. This overall shoe, to be honest, 160 euros, $160 if I'm not mistaken. This is something like I wouldn't say a disappointment, because there's no disappointment. It's absolutely capable. It does probably what you are buying it for, if that's what you have in mind. I even had some pleasure running with it on the roads, to be honest, yesterday. And I just feel like if I were to do a very long trail run, this wouldn't be my first pick. Mostly because of the midsole, which I think is quite aggressive, and that aggressiveness isn't matching the foam specificities on the one hand. On the other hand, I feel like, you know, this shoe doesn't tick all the boxes that I would like for a shoe to go for a certain distance on the trails. And that's it, guys. 160 euros, $160 for a shoe that, if this is what you're looking for, is gonna please you. Long, flat, gravel, not too technical, especially long, I think, leg saving, maybe even hybrid roads, trails, but forget about, I think, forget about the fun, the fun will come not from the shoe, the fun will come from your run, 100%, and there's no need to have a fun shoe to have fun on your runs, don't get me wrong, but the fun will come from your run, not from the shoe. It's not necessarily a fun shoe like some other recent plated trail shoes are, or even trail shoes without the plates are. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna take this shoe to the mountains and maybe do a follow-up video, because I feel like I need to maybe discover it in a different situation than just the trails around Brussels, and some sort of more technical trails, some sort of more demanding slopes, I think may give me a second opinion on this shoe. So let's see. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and go beyond your limits. Like this video, subscribe, do the good stuff to help the channel. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.